Hello, my little stars, and welcome. Today, we're going on an adventure to the most wonderful place in all the world, the magical kingdom of Whispering Meadows. Imagine a land where every single blade of grass was a sparkling emerald green. Every rose was a deep velvet crimson, and the sky was always the brightest, most beautiful cerulean blue. It was a land bursting with color, and ruling this beautiful kingdom was Princess Lila, a girl who loved colors so much. She wore the most brilliant purple dress every single day. Lila's very best friend was Sparkle, a tiny, adorable unicorn whose horn shimmered with every color you could possibly imagine. But one morning, Lila woke up and something was terribly, terribly wrong. She stretched, yawned, and looked at her magnificent castle window. But the green trees were not green. They were a sad, dull gray. The beautiful crimson roses were not crimson. They were gray too. Even the sky, the big, beautiful sky, was a dusty, charcoal color, the entire kingdom. Every last flower and stone was drained of its wonderful, dazzling colors. Lila's heart started beating fast. Like a frightened little hummingbird, she ran outside, her purple dress looking strangely bright in the colorless world. But the happy sounds of her kingdom were gone. The usual laughter and singing had been replaced by soft, sad whispers. A dark, grumpy shadow had fallen over Whispering Meadows. Then Lila looked up. High above the tallest castle turret, she spotted the culprit. It was Griselda, the Cloud Witch. Griselda was a grumpy old witch who hated anything bright and happy. She was hovering on her giant, miserable cloud, using a strange device to suck all the beautiful color out of the land. If I can't have joy, Griselda cackled from above, her voice echoing through the quiet streets, then no one can have color. Lila knew she had to act fast. She couldn't let Griselda's gloominess win. She raced down to the royal library, a grand, towering room filled with dusty, wonderful, ancient books. Her friend, Sparkle the unicorn, trotted right beside her. He pointed his tiny, glowing horn at the oldest, biggest book on the very highest shelf. It was a special book, bound in shimmering, magical silk. It was a rainbow restoration spell book. With a deep breath, Lila carefully opened the massive book. The ancient writing on the pages glowed with a faint, leftover color to bring the rainbow back and save her kingdom. The spell required 3 very special, very magical ingredients. First, she needed the laughter of a firefly that has just heard a really good joke. Second, she needed the tear of a cheerful gnome who is feeling extra, super joyful. And third, she needed the shimmer from a unicorn's horn mixed with a gentle, heartfelt wish. This was going to be a challenge. The first ingredient was tricky. Lila and Sparkle had to find Barnaby the firefly. Barnaby lived deep within the now colorless Whispering Woods. The trees looked spooky and gray. But Lila was brave. She finally found Barnaby sitting on a leaf, his little light barely flickering. Lila leaned in close and told Barnaby the funniest joke she knew. It was a joke about a squirrel who thought he could fly by flapping his bushy tail. Barnaby's little light flickered once, then twice, then burst into brilliant, happy, golden giggles. It was the most wonderful sound. Lila carefully captured the giggling sound in a small, empty glass bottle, one ingredient down. Next, she needed the gnome's tear. She found Gus the gnome polishing his boots, which were now gray, looking very, very glum. Lila didn't want Gus to be sad. She needed him to be happy. So, she had an idea. She offered Gus a freshly baked cookie, still warm from the castle oven, smelling of cinnamon and sugar. Gus took a bite, and his eyes went wide. The cookie was so delicious, so perfect, so full of warmth and love that a single tear of pure, overwhelming joy rolled right down his cheek. Lila, ready with a piece of soft velvet, gently caught the glistening drop. 2 ingredients collected. Finally, she returned to the castle with Sparkle. She held a large glass bowl, and Sparkle, knowing just what to do, gently rubbed his magical horn against the edge. A fine, glittering dust of pure magic fell from his horn into the bowl. The unicorn shimmer swirled together with the firefly's laughter and the gnome's joyful tear. Lila held the bowl carefully. It felt warm and full of hope. Now for the final step. Standing in the center of the colorless courtyard with all the sad townspeople watching, Lila held the heavy spell book open. She pointed Sparkle's horn towards Griselda's gray cloud high in the sky. Taking a big, brave breath, she read the spell in a clear, loud voice. From gray to gold, from dark to bright, restore the colors, bring back the light. As she finished the last word, the mixture in the bowl erupted. It didn't just bubble, it exploded into a magnificent, powerful rainbow. The colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet shot out like magnificent, shimmering ribbons. They flew into the sky and wrapped round Griselda's gloomy cloud. The cloud would shriek and groan. The overwhelming happiness and brightness of the rainbow magic was just too much for her gloominess to handle. With one final puff of gray smoke, Griselda vanished, flying far, far away to bother some other place that didn't have such a brave princess. And just like that, faster than you can blink, the colors returned. The trees burst into a brilliant green, the river turned a sparkling blue, and the air filled with the sweet smells of newly colorful flowers. The people of Whispering Meadows cheered and danced and celebrated. Princess Lila smiled, giving Sparkle a big, tight hug. She learned that even when things seemed dark and difficult, a little courage, a little help from good friends, and a lot of inner color can always save the day. Thank you for joining our adventure today, little stars. Remember to always let your own colors shine bright. If you enjoyed our story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more magical tales. See you next time!